day rate. I hope you're all okay and have managed to have restful Christmases and a lovely time with your family. First things first then, now that we are in different times working and learning from home, is a bit of an introduction from me. So I am Miss Biggs. If I am not your teacher for music, I am the lead teacher of the Creative Arts Department, but I am a music specialist, so that's why you'll see me here today on this video. I've decided to do the music videos for the foreseeable future so that it's a bit more cohesive. So your teacher that teaches you for music will be putting this video on your Teams channel for you to access. If you do have any problems at any point, please do feel free to contact them with any questions, and they'll try their best to get back to you straight away. But yeah, just an introduction from me if you don't recognise my face. So first things first then, before we make a start, we're all at different points with music at the moment, and unfortunately, because we haven't been able to do practical lessons, I thought it best that we get on to do something practical whilst we're at home and we can have the ability to be able to do that. So I'm just going to do a bit of a brief recap before we move on to the practical and what I'd like you to do over the next couple of lessons. So a brief recap on duration and notation then, because you need this information to be able to go on and learn how to play these pieces of music I'm going to set you over the next couple of weeks. So as you can see here in front of you, we've got 4 counts across the top. So the counts are in effect beats, and it shows you how the different notes last for different beats. It's really important that you remember this because they don't all last for the same amount of beats, and each bar, as you can see on the document that I'm going to get up now, each bar has to last a certain amount of beats, and each note lasts a certain amount of beats itself to fit into that duration. Okay, so the semi-breve, the first one here, is a 4-beat note. So if you had 4 counts or 4 beats in your bar, the semi-breve would in effect take up the whole bar because it lasts for 4 counts or 4 beats. For this purpose, we'll call it a count because it says count right there. But don't get confused with what a count is. A count is just the same word as a beat. Okay, so a semi-breve lasts for 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are our counts. The semi-breve would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would last the whole 4. A minim is half that, it lasts for 2. So if we had 4 counts, it would be 1, 2, 1, 2. So you would play 2 minims there. A crotchet is the most common note that we see in music, and it would last for 1 count each. So if we had 4 counts, you would hear 4 crotchets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. A quaver is half that. So they last for half a beat each, and when we have 2 quavers together, as we can see here, they are beamed together. So each of those 2 beamed quavers lasts for 1 together as 2, but each one is half. So da 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 da. So every count we have 2 quavers. And then for the semi-quaver, last but not least, they last for a quarter, so half the quaver again. So for every count that we have to squeeze 4 semi-quavers in. So if the counts were this, 1, 2, 3, 4, the semi-quavers would sound a bit like this. Da 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 da. Okay, so just bear that in mind. You can feel free to freeze this or go back to this point if you need it at a later stage when we come on to do our practical work. So the next stage of the lesson then is for you to get up this Word document that your teacher should have put on your Microsoft Teams channel to accompany the lesson today, and the tasks are broken down in the boxes that we can see here. So task 1 and 2, task 3 and task 4. The reason why there's quite a lot of tasks here, which you might think, oh my gosh, is because some people are in different situations at home. Some people have keyboards, some people have pianos, some people have both, some people don't have any. Please don't panic if you don't have any. It's really not a problem because I'm going to show you Virtualpiano.net, which is where you can log on to this website and have access to a virtual piano, which is the same as what some people would have at home. As we go through, I will say some of the difficulties that obviously you will face with it, things that you can do and you can't do. But because we're at home and we can't, we're not in school and we're not having that, not being able to play keyboards and other instruments, I thought it is the perfect opportunity for you to go back and have a go at actually doing practical music at home whilst we can. Okay, so go into the Word document then. Task 1 is to scan the QR code here. Once you scan that using any device, your phone, your tablet, whatever it may be, you'll have a little thing pop up called From Musical Context, which is in effect the Ode to Joy song, the Ode to Joy piece. Once you've played that, it's about 30 seconds. It'll show you how to. You'll be able to hear what it sounds like, so that you know exactly how it goes. Some of you will have done this last year. It's a longer. If you have the luxury of having two devices, one thing I would say is to get two screens up. So one with the virtual piano, if you don't have a piano at home, obviously, and then one with this up here. If you don't have that opportunity, don't panic, because you can focus on one bar at a time and then build it up that way. It's really not a problem. So virtualpiano.net then is there. The link, again, your teacher will have put in your Teams channel. And if for whatever reason it's not loading or anything like that, please don't hesitate to get in touch with your teacher. They will help you. They can send you a direct link. There are other virtual pianos as well. This is just the one I've selected because I think it's the best one out there for what we need for the upcoming lessons over the next couple of weeks. So what I have done is clicked on Key Assist, and I have selected for the note labels to be on, because I think it will help. I mean, you don't have to have them on, that's not a problem if you don't want to, but it does help with those that need to know where the notes are. And the reason why there's numbers after the same set of notes is you'll see that we are going up in pitch. So I would suggest doing it around pitch 4, just because I think it sounds the best for this particular piece. You can zoom in if you want to. I'm on Google Chrome here because I think it's less laggy, but obviously if you are on Internet Explorer or anything else, that's not a problem. Just have a bit of a play around with it before you get started. You might want to specify a specific percentage if you think, oh no, that's a bit too zoomed in, or whatever. I'll let you have a play around with that. Like I say, I've got mine on 150 there because I've zoomed in on a particular area. I think it's a bit more similar to a keyboard size, and that's me sorted. If I do want to have a metronome is a really good little tool actually. Once you've started to learn the piece, if you click on the metronome function here and scroll it to about 90 is the perfect beats per minute for what we need, and then if you press play, like I've just done there, it plays a beat in effect and it keeps going. And it's a really good way of keeping in time and learning how to play music in time. And you can keep stopping and starting. So if you think, do you know what, that's not helping me at the moment, turn it off, click off it, have another go, and then put it on if you feel like it is helping you. It does help to help you keep in time, but obviously one thing to bear in mind with the metronome is it doesn't speed up or slow down to fit you. You have to keep at the time, and that's what's really good for music, because obviously we have to learn how to play in time. So that's another little key feature there. One thing I would say before you start is to click on the sound button and swap your sustain toggle to off, because I do think it sounds a little bit more laggy if you've got it on. That's another little tip. And then if you really want to, I'm going to, because I love pink, click on the style button and then colour scheme, and you can select the colour that you want to and press confirm, and it just makes it a little bit more jazzy. So we're ready to go. Okay, so I know this piece off by heart. We're going to learn how to play it line by line, but as you can see there, the first line is exactly the same as the second line, apart from the last bar where we go from E, D, D to D, C, C. So in effect, once you've learned how to play the first line, you should be able to in effect play the second line the same, as well as the fourth line. I don't know whether you can see there, it's the same as line 2. So line 1, line 2 and line 4 are the exact same principle. You're just looking at a different set of notes in line 1 for the last bar. It's the third line that is a little bit different. So I'll demonstrate the first line for you so you know where you're going with it, and then you can have a go at doing it yourself. Again, if you want to zoom in with this on the Word document, feel free to do that. It depends on what device you're working off. I know if you're working off your phone, you might want to zoom out a little bit so that you can see a bit more in front of you. So I'm going to click on there, and I know I've got to play E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D. I know I've got 4 beats in a bar. These notes are crotchets, so I'm going to keep a steady pace, and I'm just going to play 8 crotchets. E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to put my metronome on because I think it helps me. Okay, so that was actually a little bit further on than what I said I was going to. So E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, D. So the last bar is in effect the hardest bit, in effect, because we've got some different notes in there. So we've got the quaver and we've got the minim. So the minim is 2 beats, the quaver is half a beat, the crotchet is 1 beat, but we've got this little funny dot here, which in effect adds half a beat of that particular note. So we know that we've got 4 beats in a bar. We know that the minim is 2, so that's 2 beats. We know that the quaver is half, so that's 2.5. So we've got 1.5 left. So the crotchet is 1, so the dot is half added to it. Okay, so you're going to go E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, D. That is how it should sound. Again, you can keep playing the internet file that you've got from the QR code to help you with that, so you don't have to listen to my dreadful singing. If you want to keep going over it, feel free to spend time on that. The next task, for some of you that will do that quicker, is to have a go at doing the left hand. Now this is where things gets a little bit complicated if you don't have a keyboard or a piano at home. There's a QR code there for you to listen to it. If you don't have a keyboard or a piano at home, you are going to have to change the key assist from notes to keyboard keys, because obviously if you're clicking a mouse you can't play 3 notes at the same time, because remember a chord is 3 notes together, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to have a go at the first one. So the first chord, we have to play all 3 notes of those at the same time. So C, E and G, I'm going to play at the same time. So I'm going to click onto there. I know this is a C, so I'm going to find my T on my computer keyboard. That's an E, so I need a U, and that's a G. So I'm going to find an O, and I'm going to play all 3 of those at the same time. Together, that is the only way around this to be able to play a chord, is to go from the actual names of the notes, so C, D, E, F, G, to the computerized notes, so a computer keyboard note. So T, U and O are C, E, G, and then you're going to play them together to make the chord. Obviously you're going to struggle to do both lines at the same time, but it's a really good way of actually practicing your chord. So if you were to go to the next one, G, B, D, we know that O, A and D are, so let me just find my, it's a bit more complicated there. So O, A and D are G, B and D. So O, A and D. I'm going to find that. So I've got O, A, D, which are a little bit separated out. You can see there, look, it's highlighting the notes that I'm playing, and that's a G chord. So it's a really good way of actually practicing your chords, being a bit more creative with it. So that's task 3. If you've managed to complete that, obviously if you've got a keyboard at home, you can put both of those parts together to have a go at that, to challenge yourself a bit more. If you don't have that privilege, don't worry, that's not a problem. You can have a move on to task 4, which is the stretching challenge. Now this one is a bit more complicated. It's called Consider Yourself from Oliver, and the reason why it's a little bit more complicated is because we have some little symbols, some little flats in the key signature here, and it's a bit more of a complicated pattern. Okay, so please take some time, if you don't know the song, to either scan the QR code to have a listen to it, or feel free to Google it. It's a really popular song from Oliver the Musical. It's only 2 lines. Even if you want to have a go at the first couple of bars or the first line, that's absolutely fine. But the reason why this is a little bit more confusing is because we've got some flats and weird signs here, which is unnatural. So I'm going to cover this in a lot more detail in the next lesson. But if you do feel like you've got a bit more time, have a go at this, listen to it, and have a go at playing the notes. You have got the notes on top here for you to have a go at. So you need to play an E flat here, and this symbol here basically means a natural, so normal E. This sign here is a natural, and it means revert back to your normal note because you've played a flat here. So you would play F, D, E flat, E, F. Okay, have a listen, have a go at that. Enjoy. Obviously, as I said before, we're not allowed to use instruments in music at school at the moment, so I hope you find this a bit more interesting and engaging whilst you're at home. Please don't hesitate to contact me if I am your teacher or one of your teachers for music if you have any problems, or if you're really struggling with listening or playing or getting anything loading, then they will be there to help you. All right, take care. Bye bye.